I'm Debra Rubin Roberts, and I'm the founder of Mommy Makeup. And today, we're going to apply our Pretty and Polished kit to our beautiful model, Jennifer. With Pretty and Polished, every woman can look divine in half the time and do her entire face from her very first touch of concealer to her final touch of lip color with only 6 products in 6 minutes or less. Every Pretty and Polished kit includes paint-by-number instructions. We'll apply the paint-by-number instructions onto Jennifer, and I'll also give you some tips and tricks and techniques and talk about the product benefits as well. In a separate video, you will see me actually apply the Pretty and Polished kit on myself with a voiceover where I'm not talking, and you will see that I actually put it on in less than 6 minutes. But let's get started with Jennifer. So our first step is our Mommy's Little Helper Concealer. Mommy's Little Helper Concealer is your eyeshadow base, your under-eye concealer, and your face cover-up all in one product. And we're going to apply it with the Camouflage 6-point brush. And I like to use this brush because if you take your finger and put it in here, you're going to lose most of your concealer in the tip of your finger. I designed Pretty and Polished, I designed Mommy's Little Helper Concealer, I should say, to become one with the skin. So the first thing we're going to do, close please, is we're going to put a little dot in the center of Jennifer's lid, and I'm going to use my ring finger and I'm going to blend it down. And now this will be the eyeshadow base. I'm going to do another little dot and blend it down. Now with the Camouflage 6-point brush, I'm going to paint the inner corner, and look up for me, and right here underneath Jennifer's lash line. I can get in really, really close. And if we can get a zoom in, we can see exactly where the Mommy's Little Helper Concealer should go. Now notice I didn't put any concealer out here in the outer corner because you don't have any dark circles out there. Your dark circles basically go from here to here, and then that is where it should go. Now here's a little secret. Your own features like to create like a shadow on your face. So I took this stage makeup trick that I learned and adapted it for every day. Put a little bit of concealer in the corner of your nose and in the corner of the mouth. And when you blend it down, it will soften the shadows. I just have a little makeup sponge and I'm blending it down. And look at the difference between this side and that side. Now we got to blend down Jennifer's concealer under her eye. Look up for me. I use my ring finger because it's the weakest muscle in the hand, and I gently tap in the Mommy's Little Helper Concealer. Okay, now Jennifer has a little demarcation here, so we can also use this to cover up any little imperfections on your face. And now we have to do Jennifer's other side. Close, please. Again, I'm going to put a dot in the middle of her lid, and I'm going to use my ring finger and I'm going to blend it out so the Mommy's Little Helper Concealer is her eyeshadow base. And look up for me. And now I'm going to use the inner corner with the brush, or Camouflage 6-point brush, and right here nice and tight under the lash line. And now I'm also going to get the inner corner of her nose and the corner of her mouth. And I'm going to blend it down. And you can see Mommy's Little Helper Concealer really becomes one with the skin very quickly, so I don't have to like blend really a lot to get it to look like skin. And look up for me. I'm going to tap that in with my ring finger. Close your eyes. Up. And if you had any little imperfections or a blemish or a sunspot, you could also use Mommy's Little Helper Concealer to cover those as well. Okay, now our second step is our Mineral Duel powder, and I'm going to apply that with our Little Lush Kabuki brush. This brush is a very dense brush. Mineral Duel powder is mineral powder, but it is pressed, so you get no loose powder mess. The Little Lush Kabuki brush will pick up the minerals and deposit them on the skin. So I'm going to do what I call swirl it and buff it. I'm swirling the Little Lush Kabuki brush in the middle of Duel powder, and I'm going to buff it onto Jennifer's face. Now, I always say that Mommy's Little Helper Concealer and Mineral Duel Powder are like peanut butter and jelly. Each are great on their own, but the combination of the two is the best. So I'm going to put, with the Little Lush Kabuki brush, I'm going to set that Mommy's Little Helper Concealer on Jennifer's lid, and look up for me. And I'm also going to get right under her lash line and set it there too. Let's get the other side. I'm buffing it in on her cheeks. I'm dusting it on her nose. And I'm setting the concealer on her lid. And now look up. And I'm also setting under her eye. I've got to dust a little on her forehead. And that's it. Mineral Duel Powder is oil-free, talc-free, fragrance-free, has an SPF of 15 and a soft focus finish. It looks incredibly natural. And it's one of our top-selling products because most women like the look of foundation, but they don't like the mess and the hassle of putting on liquid or cream. And just dusting a powder on your face is super easy, but you get all those wonderful mineral foundation benefits in a pressed compact. Okay, so now we're up to step 3, which is our eye triplet shadow. And if you look on the Pretty and Polished paint by number instructions, there's color A, color B, color C. Color A, I'm going to take our Chisel Super Deluxe Fluff Brush, and I'm going to apply this all over Jennifer's lid. Close, please. This is a great brush for your all-over lid color because it's a very dense brush. I always hated it when I was doing somebody's makeup and the eyeshadow would flake down here because the brush had too long a bristle. This is a very dense cut on the bristle, and it's kind of chunky. So when you put it on your lid, the eyeshadow stays on your lid and doesn't go over the rest of your face. Okay, so there is step 1 of eye triplets. Step 2, we're going to use our Chisel Double Shader. I call this brush my no-brainer brush. If we can get in really tight on the brush, you'll see it's kind of shaped like a diamond here. It has a nice point at the very top. That point will make putting your crease color on goof-proof. Women always have trouble getting their crease color on with their eyeshadow. I'm going to take the Chisel Double Shader and put it in color B, and just look down at the floor with your eyes. It's going to fit right in here. The point of the brush fits right in Jennifer's outer corner, and I'm going to go swish, swish, halfway in, halfway out. And as I'm swishing, the brush is doing all the work for me and placing it perfectly within the crease of her eye. I always say this is my no-brainer brush because it makes putting the crease color on a no-brainer. Look down, right here in the corner, swish, swish, halfway in, halfway out. You don't have to do any crazy contouring or really work hard because the brush is doing the work for you. And there you go. Now color C, which is your liner color, I'm going to apply with our Cam Angle Detailer brush. It's angled to fit right on your lash line. Now, just because it is called eyeliner does not mean that you should draw a line. This liner can be used wet or dry, and I'm going to use it right now dry. When you're applying liner, you want to make itty-bitty dashes and connect the dashes to form a line. Close, please. My pinky's resting on Jennifer's face, and as you can see, I'm making little dashes, and I'm dashing them on to form a line. Just because it's called eyeliner does not mean that you should draw a line. Now, I always like to put a little bit more liner in the outer corner because it's going to lift the eye more on the end. Open. Great. Let's do the other side. Close. My pinky's on Jennifer's face, and I'm making itty-bitty dashes, and I'm connecting the dashes to form a line. And I'm doing a little more in Jennifer's outer corner. If you were going to use this as a wet liner, you would slightly dampen your brush and get just the right texture, and then do the same thing, make itty bitty dashes and dash it on. Now when you're doing this on yourself, because you can't do your makeup with your eyes closed, you should have your mirror in front of you or lower than your face and put your chin up and look down, rest your pinky on your face, and you can make your itty bitty dashes. Don't contort your eye and don't pull. Okay, so there we are with step 3. We have all 3 eyeshadows. And the beauty of eye triplets is you have your entire eye in one little round compact. Let's put on mascara. Our Lush Black Mascara, which has vitamins A, C, and E in it. Look down for me. And I'm going to kind of wiggle it on. It lengthens and thickens the lashes. It's water resistant. It is not waterproof. Waterproof, I think, is too harsh for every day. So if you cry, it's water resistant. You're not going to get mascara running down your face, but I wouldn't jump in a swimming pool with this on. Look at me. Lovely. And look down again. So it's going to separate, it's going to thicken and condition the lashes while it's on. And look up, please. I want to get a little bit on the bottom. Now, if you notice, I didn't put any liner on the bottom for Jennifer. I'm not a big fan of liner on the bottom. I think it just draws more attention to the low under eye area that you just tried to cover up with the concealer. So I prefer just a little mascara on the bottom and not a lot of liner. Okay, so now our next step is our mineral bronze and blush. Mineral bronze and blush, again, is pressed mineral powder. You have your bronzer and your blush all in one compact. And this is a neutral combination, we call it nice and natural, that works on every skin tone because these 2 colors are blue-based colors, so they're not going to get too orangey or too mustardy looking or too dirty on anyone's complexion. You can go from the lightest fair person to a dark cocoa colored person, and you could still use this same product. You just might use a little less on a fair person and a little more on a darker skinned person. I'm going to use our chisel powder brush, and I'm going to take the darker shade and we're going to put it on for bronzer. Now bronzer should not look like you dipped your face in dirt. It should look like a natural kiss of the sun. And where does the sun mostly hit your face? I'm going to show you. It hits the T-zone area. So your forehead, your nose, and your chin. And then just right here next to your nose, that's where the sun also hits your face. Let's do that again so you can see. T-zone, and just here next to the nose. Now everybody gets a little lighter patch here because your chin acts like a little umbrella. And we don't want that lighter patch distracting away from your face, so we'll put a little bit of bronzer there too. And now that little lighter patch is less noticeable. Now blush, I always say, should look like you got embarrassed. A lot of blush does not look like you spent 3 weeks in Bermuda. It just looks like you're wearing a lot of blush. We're going to apply the blush part with our chisel angle blush brush. And it's angled to fit right on the face, so it makes, again, blush application goof-proof. Because blush should look like you got embarrassed, you're going to smile for me. And we're going to put it on the apple of the cheek and go straight back towards your ear. Because this area is where you get color in your face when you get embarrassed. Smile again. And if you notice, I'm placing the blush brush with the longer end toward Jennifer's eye. There you go. The last step is our lip color. And the lip color is our Mommy's Kisses, and Jennifer wears light medium, so in the light medium kit you get the shade Madison. And Mommy's Kisses is a fabulous product because you will never lose your lip liner. Here it is hidden in the handle. It swivels up and down. You never have to sharpen it. And then you have your coordinating matching lip color in the barrel. Now again, lip liner, just because it's called lip liner, do not draw a line. And don't ever go like this egg line, because then it just looks very harsh and phony and you see the line. And I always say your lip liner should be like your panty line. No one should see your panty line. No one should see your lip line. So I'm going to rest my pinky on Jennifer's chin, and I'm going to make, again, itty-bitty dashes and connect the dashes to form a line. And then, because I don't like it to look like the lip liner ends and the lip color begins, I'm going to fill Jennifer's lips in about halfway with the liner. And let's do the top. Same thing, itty-bitty dashes, make teeny dashes, connect the dashes to form a line. And fill it in halfway. I'm going to swivel down, put my lip liner right in the handle, and here's my matching coordinating lip color. Just drop your jaw a little bit. And I'm going to apply, as I'm applying the lip color, I'm blending it into the lip liner. The Mommy's Kisses has a creamy consistency to it. It's a creamy gloss. So it feels good. It wears a long time. It's not too sticky. There you go. Now we have our lip color on. Now in the paint by number instructions, there is a final optional step, the eyebrows. I call the eyebrows the forgotten feature. And if I could have put a brow tint in every Pretty and Polished kit, I would, but some people would wear auburn brow tint, some people would wear blonde brow tint, so that's why it's an optional step. Jennifer obviously is wearing blonde brow tint. Now, when you have color in your lips and nothing in the brow, your face gets what I call bottom heavy. All the attention goes down to your mouth. Now, I'm going to take our brow tint, which is just a tinted gel, and all I'm going to do is brush it through Jennifer's brows. And for a blonde woman, it's like adding highlights into the brow. It takes the color that's in the hair and brings it into the brow. Okay, now let's look at this. Here, Jennifer's face looks balanced, and on this side, you can see the attention goes right down to her mouth. But let's even her out now. So I'm going to take the brow tint again. I'm using the tip of the comb, and I'm just brushing it through. And it tints the hairs. It doesn't tint the skin. So it gives a very natural look to the brow, adds a little bit of highlights. Another great thing for brow tint, what you can do, because it's not a waxy consistency, is in between your hair colorings, if you have any little grays or if your roots start to come in, you can take it and touch up the roots of your hair. If we did that, Jennifer doesn't have any roots right now, but we could do that if we needed to. So that's our final step. And Pretty and Polished is finished. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for being our model today. And with Pretty and Polished, you will too look divine in half the time.